Why compliments make you uncomfortable and criticism feels true. Someone praises you, and your first instinct is to shrink. You smile politely, maybe you say thank you, but inside something tightens. It doesn't land, it doesn't feel real, and yet one small criticism can stay in your mind for days. You replay it, analyze it, almost believe it. If you've ever wondered why praise feels uncomfortable, but criticism feels strangely accurate, your brain might be following a very old emotional pattern. And once you see it, you won't unsee it. You know this moment. Someone tells you, you did really well, and almost instantly your mind searches for the flaw. They're just being nice. They don't see the full picture. If they knew the truth. The compliment slides off, but criticism sticks. Maybe it was something small, a comment about your work, a tone in someone's voice, a piece of feedback that wasn't even that harsh. But your nervous system reacts differently. Your chest tightens, your thoughts loop, your memory bookmarks the moment. Over time, this creates a quiet identity shift. You start to trust negative feedback more than positive signals. Psychologically, this often shows up in people with high self-monitoring, rejection sensitivity, or a history of conditional approval. But the real cost isn't just discomfort. It slowly reshapes how you see yourself. You begin to feel like praise is inflated, and criticism is revealing the truth. And the strange part, your brain genuinely believes it's being rational. Which raises the deeper question. Why would the mind be wired to doubt the positive and trust the negative? You are not overly sensitive. You are not secretly addicted to criticism. Your brain is doing something very predictable. From a survival perspective, the human nervous system evolved with a strong negativity bias. In simple terms, missing a threat was historically more dangerous than missing a compliment. So the brain became extremely efficient at detecting what might be wrong. But for some people, this system becomes amplified. Especially if earlier life experiences taught your nervous system something subtle but powerful. Approval is uncertain. Mistakes are costly. Social safety must be monitored carefully. When that learning happens repeatedly, your brain doesn't just notice criticism more. It starts to weight it more heavily. Not because you're broken, but because your prediction system adapted to protect you. And to understand how deep this runs, we need to look at what your brain is actually doing in real time. Inside your brain, incoming feedback goes through a filtering process. Think of it like an internal spam detector. Every piece of social information gets quickly evaluated for one core question. Is this useful for my survival and belonging? Here's where it gets interesting. Because of negativity bias and predictive processing, your brain treats criticism and compliments very differently. Cause right arrow mechanism, right arrow result. Cause. If your past experiences included unpredictable evaluation or conditional praise, mechanism. Your brain builds a prediction model that expects hidden risk in positive feedback and higher reliability in negative signals. The anterior cingulate cortex and threat detection networks become more sensitive to social error signals. Meanwhile, reward signals from praise get downregulated if they don't match your internal self-model. Result: compliments feel suspicious, criticism feels confirming. Here's the mental model. Your brain runs something like an emotional lie detector. When someone criticizes you, it matches your brain's cautious prediction. Something might be wrong, so the system says, this feels credible. But when someone praises you, your prediction system sometimes flags it as uncertain. Is this consistent with what we know? If it doesn't match your internal self-image, the brain creates friction. That friction is the discomfort you feel in your body. But here's the hopeful part most people never learn. Prediction systems can update. Slowly, gradually, through specific kinds of experience. Which brings us to what actually helps. This is not about forcing yourself to believe compliments. That rarely works. Instead, the goal is to gently retrain how your brain weights social information. Here are 4 psychologically grounded steps. Step 1. Pause before rejecting praise. What to do when someone compliments you? Don't immediately deflect. Just pause for 2 seconds. That's it. Why it works. Brain mechanism. Your brain often rejects praise automatically through fast predictive filtering. A brief pause engages the prefrontal cortex and interrupts the automatic dismissal loop. You're creating a small window for new encoding. Real-life example: someone says, "You explained that really clearly." Instead of instantly saying, "Oh, it was nothing," you simply say, "Thank you." The pause feels small, but neurologically it matters. Step 2. Track evidence, not feelings. What to do? Start mentally noting repeated positive feedback patterns. Not emotionally, just factually. Why it works? Cognitive science shows that prediction models update through repeated, consistent evidence. Feelings alone rarely override old belief structures. Real-life example. If 3 different people independently praise your communication, you quietly log that pattern instead of dismissing each one individually. Over time, your brain begins to revise its probability estimates. Step 3. Normalize the body response. What to do? When praise makes you physically uncomfortable, name the sensation calmly. Something simple like, "My body is reacting right now." Why it works? Affect labeling reduces amygdala reactivity and increases emotional regulation. You are telling your nervous system, this is activation, not danger. Real-life example. You feel heat in your chest after a compliment. Instead of panicking internally, you notice, "Okay, my system is just not used to this." The sensation often softens faster than expected. Step 4. Update your self-model gradually. What to do? Instead of forcing big identity changes, allow small self-descriptions to evolve. Not, "I'm amazing at this," but maybe, "I might be improving at this." Why it works? The brain resists information that is too far from its current self-model, but it accepts adjacent possible updates much more easily. Real-life example. After repeated positive feedback at work, you shift from, "I'm probably underperforming," to, "I might be doing better than I thought." This is how identity quietly recalibrates. Here's the simple model to remember. Your brain is not trying to hurt you. It is trying to protect you using old probability settings. Compliments feel uncomfortable not because they are false, but because your prediction system hasn't fully updated yet. Criticism feels true not because it always is, but because your brain learned to treat it as high-priority data. You are not broken. Your internal filter is just slightly overtuned. And filters can be recalibrated. So the next time someone appreciates you, notice what happens inside. Not with judgment, just with curiosity. because that small moment of discomfort might not be proof that the compliment is wrong. It might simply be your nervous system encountering unfamiliar safety. And unfamiliar safety often feels strange at first. But slowly, quietly, your system can learn a new pattern. One where praise doesn't feel threatening. One where criticism is information, not identity. And maybe, over time, you won't have to fight so hard to believe the good things people already see in you.